What it do, everybody, and welcome back to All Sports Media TV. I am your host, KJ the Great, and we about to talk some boxing. As now the fight has been canceled between now former WBO lightweight champion Keyshawn Davis and title contender Edwin de los Santos. This is shocking. It happened because Keyshawn Davis missed weight by 4.3 pounds. And then neither side could work out an agreement, come to an agreement on anything, probably rehydration and money losing and everything else. So the fight is canceled. And Keyshawn Davis did say he's moving up to 140, which Keyshawn Davis is going to have a lot of success at 140, I believe. But where do we go from here with the lightweight division? And I'll tell you. So you got two titles that are held right now. The WBA lightweight title by undefeated lightweight champion Gervonta Tank Davis, and the WBC title held by Shakur Stevenson. The IBF title will now be vacant due to Vasily Lomachenko's retirement announcement earlier this week. So then you've got two titles that are up for grabs in this division. What should happen, in my opinion? Well, Raymond Maratella is gonna looking like he's gonna get the first crack at the the IBF title, which is okay, and I'm okay with that because I wanted to see him get his shot either against Lomachenko or get his shot against one of the other champions. Now, the WBA title is in a stagnant position because of what transpired with Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, and everybody in the world knows Lamont Roach won that fight. Gervonta Tank Davis fought to a draw. It was a odd fight. It just didn't play out the way I know a lot of people thought it was going to play out. It didn't play out the way Gervonta Tank Davis thought it was going to play out, and it was said that he had a deal to face Jake Paul in an exhibition fight later this year and was rumored to make upwards of $40 million. Gervonta Tank Davis, if you guys don't remember, after he knocked out former lightweight title contender, now moving up to 140 fighter, Frank the Ghost Martin, he said, "It's ass whipping time. It's ass whipping time. Yeah, I got a list. I want them all." And has not made any attempts to get them all. Why do I say that? Gervonta Tank Davis is the A side. No matter who he fights right now, he's the A side. He calls the shots. So why aren't you sending the contracts? I'll tell you. I believe what Timothy Bradley said. His camp is seeing something that is very telltale about Gervonta Tank Davis. They believe that if he fights Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Teofimo, all those guys who are at the top, they think it's going to be bad news. I personally think it's going to be bad news. Why do I say that, man? Look at how Mike Tyson was back in the day when he was knocking everybody out, and then he ran up against, the likes of Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, those guys. I think, and it's not to take away from his greatness, it's just, he wasn't the same, and he was pretty much seeming like he was 1 foot in, 1 foot out, just a lot of stuff going on. So here's what I think should happen. Shakur Stevenson has said it many a times. He wants to fight Gervonta Tank Davis because he wants to prove he's the best. Well, how do you force that type of fight? You petition to now fight for that WBO title, or you go and petition to unify the belt with Raymond Maratella. Why do I say that? Maratella's getting his shot. He's a knockout puncher. He's a really good test for Shakur Stevenson to draw that interest from Gervonta Tank Davis. And if he goes into that fight with Maratella, he could, like I said, he could definitely put on a good show. Now, another way to get the buzz going for a Tank fight is to rematch Edwin De Los Santos and have the WBO title on the line. Why do I say that? Well, look at the first fight. It was a horrible fight. Beautiful defense on display, but a horrible fight to watch. The fans didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it. I almost fell asleep on my live, and it definitely was a sleeper. Shakur Stevenson is better than that. He can do a lot better. You rematch Edwin De Los Santos. You clear up every bit of controversy with that fight, and now you're a unified lightweight champion. Then you can go and unify against Raymond Maratella. 3 belts on the line. That will put you in a position of negotiating power with Gervonta Tank Davis. Although he'll still be the A side, that's understandable. You definitely have a better case at getting him in the ring than you do now. With 3 belts on the line, we will be witnessing a fight that will be more anticipated or just as anticipated as Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence. That fight right there was so anticipated for years and years. Everybody wanted to see that fight. Everybody had their pick. It didn't play out how a lot of people thought. That's why I say Shakur Stevenson needs to unify the belts, then go after Tank. Make it happen. And if Tank decides he don't want to fight at that point, we know he's ducking. Because look at it now. You got a 3-belt champion. You said you wanted to be undisputed. Why aren't you making the fight happen? Oh, because you don't want to go overseas to Saudi Arabia because you don't feel you'll get a fair shake on the judges' cards, because you know it's going to be hard to knock out somebody like Shakur Stevenson. Which, in my opinion, that fight needs to stay in the States anyway. Las Vegas, MGM Grand, stay in the States. But let me know what you guys think about this fight, man. I honestly, or what y'all think about this fight being canceled. How does this shake up the lightweight division? Let me know in the comments. Peace.